strap my camera, my phone to.
Charlie's like Martin Scorsese.
I could run upside.
Yeah.
With my phone.
Yeah. Who's that? Who's that? Got to wave to the camera. This is Oscar. Oh. He's not normally shy. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Big camera shy. Yeah.
Yeah?
Morning, guys. Right, let's go. Early on in the year, I would normally go in a little bit more to familiarise myself with the horses and sort of just, you know, there'd be a lot of 2-year-olds in as well, so just to get to know them really. But now we are slowly, the racing is slowly getting going a little bit more. It's mainly just the work mornings, which would be Wednesday and Saturday, and that's when the horses do the faster work. And I presume there's a good chance I'll probably be on a 2-year-old at some stage of the morning. This cup. Very important. Right.
Alright, mate, up the middle grass there, mate.
Just got a nice one. Make sure this fella's with you by the 3.5 to the 4 there, and then just let him work through that 5, mate.
Okay, up the
middle there.
Ooh. Okay, Josh. Yep.
He's in the first pairing coming up.
Good boy. He's quite a clever horse, and he certainly saves his best for the afternoons. So it was good solid work. So I think we were all happy with that. So these are all the horses on this yard. So the 3-year-olds and the older horses. It's main yard. Morning, Jerry. All right, thanks, well done. Charlie will debrief the riders and see how the horses have walked back from the gallops and check their blows and everything else. And it's always nice for me to come here and watch them. And there's quite a lot of horses that you need to get around to know. So it's a good way for me to get to know them. We'll see a notable speech coming past us here now. In a bit. Doesn't look too phased about anything, does he? He's not too phased about anything, is he? Jockeys that have the volume of rides that we have, a lot of the times we have never seen the horse in the flesh before, let alone sit on the horse. You saw the riders here this morning, you know, they're all good riders, so, and they have a relationship with each and every horse, and you know, sometimes Charlie wants me to give one a workout, and sometimes he's happy just to leave the regular pilot on. But you know, you have access to all the replays, and you know, the trainers will give you feedback, and sometimes that's enough, really. And then you get to know the different horses, and you know, you can also look at the pedigrees, and a lot of the times they show traits that, you know, are sort of apparent in their pedigrees. You know, if they're, you know, fast, middle distance horses, or they're, you know, can be a little bit edgy, or they're, you know, super genuine. You know, it's all sort of shines through in that, really.
This is the blue point came in from the breeze up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So what I might do is just let you have a little look at them, and then
Yeah.
you can just come through them if you
Okay.
want.
Right, Josh. Okay. Hi, Adam. Thanks, mate. Well done. Thanks.
Okay, cut.
Sauna here, and this is the ice bar. That's pretty cold. Some days I do more than others. Like for example, if I'm not racing, you know, I can work a little bit more on like strength and conditioning, and work on various weaknesses, which is, you know, there's always something to work on. But usually, like today, where we've already had quite a busy morning, you know, I would just go for a run, probably do a few core exercises, and just get the body moving really, and then I'll probably jump in the bath for just a, you know, 15-20 minute, probably lose a pound, and then I can have a bit of breakfast afterwards. For jockeys now, it's amazing how far we've come with fitness and looking after ourselves, and you can see now the jockeys are getting they're getting longevity out of it. You know, jockeys are definitely healthier. This is a fairly normal morning for any jockey, really. You know, they would ride out in the mornings for their trainers or their owners, and then they would go to a gym. And I'm lucky enough that I've got my own gym at home like this, and I spent a lot of time and effort to get it to how I wanted it, with all the stuff in it. So no, it's something I'm very glad I did. So now I'll just do like a 5k run, sort of build up to a 12.5 to 14 pace. We also got the mechanical horse, still unbeaten. It's 5k, good sweat, just a nice way to keep ticking over. It's like I have, Dan comes and trains me probably twice a week. depending on my schedule. But I sort of, I'm not too bad at just getting on with it myself. But as long as I understand and it's simple to do. When he comes, we tend to work more on, the strength and conditioning side of things, and you're always some part of your body that's, stronger than other parts. So just trying to even everything up. And he's excellent. I've used him for a number of years, and he's taught me a lot. As also when we go to Dubai, we're lucky enough to go to NAS, which is His Highness Sheikh Hamdan's gym in Dubai, and we were lucky enough to get to spend a lot of time there, and that's another level. That taught me a lot about fitness and how to do it right, and how important it is. So no, I've been very fortunate in that regard, because I think it's important to take that side of it seriously. When we do as much as we do, and we are all supposed to have a good level of fitness, then really we shouldn't be challenged by 5-6 rides a day, or even more than that, so that's something that we're quite used to. And we're used to jockeys, you see, we work pretty much every day of the week, which is quite rare for an athlete in any sport. So that's where we're quite unique, and I think every jockey would agree that you're always a good bit below your weight, obviously some more than others. So I think we're quite adaptable as people, and when you do something every day, you just get so used to it. Got this like in summertime last year, and it's really good, but just take it easy. It's pretty cold. Just getting the breathing right. Now it's okay. You do feel good afterwards. It's great for recovery, and especially if you have to sweat or something to lose weight, it does refresh you a little bit. So.
The Skybet Filly Stakes, this listed race registered as the Michael Seeley Memorial.
Devoted Queen and Will Buick now just beginning to close on the leading quartet in the royal blue jacket. That move being covered by True Cyan on the left, the grey. Here comes Devoted Queen, but between horses Bolsena. Devoted Queen though is staying on very gamely. Over on the far side, Spiritual is battling away. Devoted Queen though's got it by a length, and she's going to maintain her unbeaten record and wins at York.
Very pleased with Devoted Queen today as she stepped up to listed class. It's a proven race for fillies to go on to better things, and she's, that was only her third start to date today, so she'd improved from when she won at Kempton earlier on in the year, and she was much more the finished article today, and she'd been showing us those signs at home as well, so it's just very nice to see them do it on the track, and she's a filly that will go on to better things throughout the season, so really pleased with her. This meeting is very important. It's very informative, especially for the 3-year-olds, with some of the trials, and other 3-year-old races are very important for you know, something further down the line, maybe at Royal Ascot as well. So, you know, all in all, I think we're all very happy.